Live action remakes, the special genre of movies that no one fucking asked for. Within the past couple of years, we've been seeing a resurgence of such movies, primarily being that of Disney movies. We've got movies such as Aladdin, Mulan, and The Lion King, all cinematic masterpieces turned into utter dog shit. Granted, live action remakes are by no means anything new and have been around for years, with films such as Charlotte's Web and 101 Dalmatians being some examples. Most live action remakes didn't really begin to gain traction until around the early mid 2010s. Admittedly, the early iterations of such movies were actually pretty good, despite being different from the original story, which is what most live action takes struggle to do. I'm primarily talking about Alice in Wonderland and Maleficent. The reason these movies did so well was due to them taking an interesting take on the already told story, making them unique and even going in depth into the lore of the world that these movies reside in. Maleficent was especially interesting as it showcased the villain and how she became the way that she did, rather than her being evil just for the sake of being evil. It gave depth to what was essentially a two-dimensional villain. The same reason can be given to Alice in Wonderland, but the depth being for more characters rather than just the main one. Unfortunately, with the success of these movies, Disney wanted to ride their wave and started its campaign to try and adapt more of them, and made sequels for them. I wouldn't say it was an instant drop-off, but rather a gradual slope of the remakes slowly becoming worse and worse. Interestingly, Disney even remade some of the more obscure movies, like Peach Dragon. It wasn't until the end of the 2010s and start of the 2020s that the live-action movies started becoming awful. Much of this was due to Disney making too many changes to characters and adding too many unnecessary scenes. Another contributing factor is also due to the actors. In regards to Aladdin, I give Will Smith some slack as it's difficult living up to the performance of the late great Robin Williams. There was no winning with that. With Javier Bardem in The Little Mermaid, I'm divided on it. I love Javier and think he's a phenomenal actor, but I genuinely think Terry Crews should have gotten the role, especially with how badly he wanted it.
Under the sea! Under the sea! My pecs are better, my Triton is bigger, take it from me!
Side note, I once had a coworker say I look kind of like Javier in No Country for Old Men when clean shaven, and I have no idea how to feel about that. And then there's Rachel Zegler, which I could do a full video on alone, but I won't. The reason why I bring up this topic is because of two movies that came out relatively recently that are drastically different in every way. The first movie is the new Lilo and Stitch movie. I cannot describe how disgusting and infuriating of a movie it is. It's like the director took everything about the movie that everyone loved and just threw it away. Spoiler alert. They de-yassified Pleakley, took away Gontu, made Jumba the villain, and had the movie end with Nani giving up Lilo. I just can't do this anymore, man. This next movie is an enigma, since despite all the garbage we've been given the past couple of years, this movie was incredibly good and definitely worth the watch. I am, of course, talking about How to Train Your Dragon. This movie, in my opinion, was phenomenal. Probably because it stuck to the fucking story. That and the acting was actually really good. Easily my favorite part about this movie was that they used the same soundtrack as the original animated movie. Hearing that soundtrack in theaters again, 15 years later, brought me so much joy. Not to mention, as someone who grew up loving dragons, and seeing some of my favorite designs of them made more lifelike, reignited that childhood love. I can wholeheartedly say I would kill a hard-working family man if it meant having a pet dragon that I could ride around on. I highly encourage anyone who hasn't seen this movie to go watch it. It's so good, I low-key want them to make the second How to Train Your Dragon movie into live action now. The only unfortunate thing I can see coming from the success of this movie is DreamWorks trying to pull a Disney and wanting to adapt all of their movies. I love DreamWorks movies, but there are very, very few movies that would translate well as live action. If they do end up deciding to adapt another movie, please, for the love of God, have it be Prince of Egypt. Because it'll either be a cinematic masterpiece that wins movie of the decade, or it will be an absolute train wreck. I'm a gambling man and I'm ready to put all my chips on black here. Honestly, the same goes for Atlanta. And I want Cole Sprouse as Milo. If Disney takes some notes from DreamWorks and makes absolutely no changes to the story at all, we should be fine. Anyways, thank you guys for watching today's video. If any of you guys have an opinion on live action movies, please comment them down below. If you liked today's video, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content. With that being said, I hope y'all have a good one.